Alright, so what we're gonna do here is just change the strings on this bow. It's not gonna take too long. Just go through the process of everything one step at a time. And once we get the strings changed out, then we'll shoot it through paper and paper tune it, make sure everything's in spec.
Yeah.
Alright, so since I got in the bow press set up, got the safeties on it, the limb lock system where it can't fall out the press. So first thing is I'm gonna change this string here, your actual string, not the cables. And since it's in there, the fingers, got the fingers adjusted right for the bow on each side. You always want to make sure that they're right, that way it don't twist or come out the bottom, make sure everything's evenly. Then you just put up pressure on it and you start pressing the bow. Start pressing until you get enough, and then you stop. And it's just simple. You come in here, take it out the cam here, roll it. I'm gonna take this tube off this peep right here. Here on this side. And just that simple. Come lay it on the table. Then you take your new strings, and the new strings, how they come is they come safety pin together like this to keep the string, because it's twisted the right amount of times from whenever they make it. So you want to keep that much as possible. If not, it'll throw the bow out of spec. But how you know top is bottom is that piece of string right there that separates, that tells you the middle of the string exactly whenever they make it. So obviously that's where your peep is going to go. So you can put that one towards the top. So simple. Just come back in here, try not to, I'm holding this in the way it's supposed to be, needs to go on that end, that way I don't untwist it while I'm doing this. So you just come in here, pop that in. Put it in the cam. This side. Keeping it the same, don't twist it. Come all the way through. Lock it in. Seat it in the cam. And then typically what I'll do after alright, this string's in, okay? Typically what I'll do after that is I'll back out of the bow and let some tension back on the string, and it helps it seat in the cam. And then once I do that, I'll repress it, stop, and then you just lay this over to give you some slack in your cams to be able to undo your cables. So the next one we'll do is your yoke cable for the top. So we'll take it out of the cable gourd here. And you always want to pay attention when you take them out of the cables out of the cable gourds, that you put them back in the same place that you did. You don't crisscross them. That way they would rub eventually later on when you do the wrong thing. So it's simple, just take this side off like this. I forgot to undo that. Let me get to that here in a second. Roll this cam forward and then pop that off. And what we'll do is we'll take a Phillips flathead or something, and there we go. Loosen this off. Put this in that tray. We'll save that for later. We'll reset that later on once we get everything changed out. Take that, lay it on the table. All right. Now we'll take the new one, new string. Open this up. It's just the key thing is just always remembering not to untwist your strings. So we'll come do the top one here. Pop it in. Pop it in. Here. So put it back in the cable board. Then roll your cam back forward. Lock it in, and then bam. There's your second cable. That's your first cable installed. Alright, now we'll do the bottom. So we'll go ahead and take this, undo that off the cable board, put that back. Remembering which way, you always want to just remember everything as you take it off, exactly how it goes, because sometimes it can be confusing. Undo that string, roll the camera around. Pop that out of there. Underneath. And pop that off. So with laying when you're changing your cables, with taking your string out of your cam, like laying it over on the side like this, gives you your cam more freedom. So when you're trying to undo your cables, it allows your cables to rotate more to be able to help you take the cable off, versus it being tight on there. It gives it less play for you to take it off, so it makes it more of a hassle. Come in here. Right quick, rotate this cam, lock it in. Go ahead and pick this up, put it in here, put that down. And then being that I let go of this end, I'm just gonna add a half a twist in it to allow for me let go, just in case it untwisted whenever I let go of it. New strings can be a pain in the butt trying to get them to go in there right. The second thing we need to do is we need to find our knock point to tie the D-loop. So typically a lot of people do it a lot of different ways. Since the way I typically do it is I'm going to flip up your arrow rest right here. I'm going to take an arrow and drop it down in here. Click it on the string, and what I typically do is make this arrow pretty much like a plumb bob, okay? Because it's gonna hang down straight possibly when you got something hanging down. So what I do is I move down, keep sliding it down until when the arrow is completely still, it barely touches the rest, where it's sitting, barely touching it. And then I'll go ahead and take a silver Sharpie, and I'll go ahead and I'll mark it on each side.
We did get that in there, by the way. Just took us a little time.
Yeah. Once I do that, then I'll go ahead and undo the arrow, and I'll take some serving here, and I tie, instead of just slinging on a D-loop, just tying a D-loop on, and it has a possibility of sliding up and down the string. If you don't add serving top and bottom, or more or less the bottom to where to keep the D-loop from sliding in. Whenever you draw it back, it'll cause knock pinch, and it will definitely mess up your accuracy and all that whenever you trying to tune it and shooting. That has a big factor in there. You always want a little bit of play in there to allow for when you're drawing back, because when you draw back, your string angle is getting smaller, right? So it's going to be pinching it. So you got to allow some slack inside of there so it don't pinch your knock. And all I do is I come and I just do overhand knots. Just an overhand knot like this. Come and I put it on that silver sharpie mark, and I tie one on one side, one on the other. I just go back and forth. I typically do it about 3, maybe 4 times. This one I'm gonna do 3 because it don't take a whole lot. And on the last knot, you want to do a double overhand knot, wrap it twice. And you come in here and then cinch it down as tight as you can by hand. Come in here with a knife, cut it about, I'd say about 1/2 inch in length. Take your old trusty lighter, rotate your string to where your serving is up. Angle your lighter to where your fire goes up like that. And then, because you don't want to get too close to your string with this lighter, melt it, lick your finger so it don't burn you, and then push it and smash it. You want to take that melted in and just smash it into there so it can't come tight. Alright, so got both sides tied in, got a little bit of slack in there. And what this also helps with is later on, say your D-loop gets wore, it breaks, or anything happens to your D-loop, you don't have to try to refine your knocking point. It's already there. You just take that off, slap you on a new one, and you're good to go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and tie the D-loop in. Went ahead and made a big mushroom head on this side to allow whenever you tie it, when it cinches up, it kind of like locks in there. It doesn't allow the string to pull through. So we just go tie it like this. Come in here. Get that cinched up. I can take this off. Tighten that down by hand. And then you see how the string comes in on this side of the bowstring. So when you go to tie the bottom side, you want to come in on the opposite side. So you're going to start on this side. Come through. Come around, back under, and back up through here like this. And then you want to try to get as much slack as you can out right here, because when you go to cinch down on it and lock your D-loop in, you're going to gain a lot right here just in the slack of your knots. So you want to take as much as you can out, unless you like a long D-loop. But most people that I've talked to, they like a shorter D-loop. So I'll take that like that, and I'll cinch this down here. I'll take my pliers. It's got a groove on both ends for me to slip in here. One to match the string, one to go on the D-loop. And you just open it up and tighten it up. Once we do that, we'll take razor blade, and I will cut close to the end. Try to get where you can see. About right in here. Go ahead and cut that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of flare that out a little bit. Take your lighter, roll it up and just slowly melt it. You don't want to catch your you don't want to catch it on fire, because then it messes up the integrity of the D-loop. You just want to let it burn and just slowly melt. When it starts, you see when it starts to want to catch on fire, just let it sit, let it cool off for a minute, come back and keep hitting it and melting it. Then what you can do, let it cool off just a bit, use the flat side of your lighter, and then press on it like this, let it cool, and then as you can see, it makes a big flat head right there, so it will not pull out. And I'll come back and I'll hit it again. Lock that down, and there you go. Take the Peep. So like I said before, this string here tells you the exact center. So what I like to do is I just fold this over to the same side, pinch it, try and grab the string, and then use that string to help separate it. It makes it easier trying to fight it with your fingernails. And then you find it's got certain grooves on each side of the Peep. It goes in a certain angle. Take this out. So it's in there, so what we'll do, put tension on this, make sure everything's good. Back out of the bow. And then we will find peep height. So, find peep height. Typically on someone. Take it out of the press. And what you'll do is you'll draw the bow back. Alright, then you'll close your eyes, get in your anchor spot, and then open your eye. And when you open your eye, that's where you should see, that's where the center of your peep sight should be. So right here for me, I had it set pretty much on the money. Let it back down, and then we can tie. Alright, so once you find your peep height, I'll take approximately about a 5-foot piece of serving. And this is how I like to tie my D-loops. I always start from the top and then work my way down. Come up through the center where your peep is. You pull it in your string to seat it in there. And you always want to, when you wrap your serving, you always want to go the same rotation as your string. So being that the rotation is going that way, we're going to wrap it that way. So I'll make 1, 2 wraps, and then I'll lay this string down, and then keep going over. And you want to count how many wraps you do, because however many wraps you do on the top, you want to do on the bottom. Keep it even. So after you make a few wraps with that string laying down, you can take it and raise it up, and then go underneath. You always want to keep it snug while you're wrapping. Alright, so as you're working down, this is typically how it should look. Just making wraps on each side of the string. Start on this side, wrap around your peep, and then start coming down the other side of your string. And then I'll show you how to tie the bottom side to where it all looks sleek. So when you get to the end, this is how you tie your bottom side. So since the string's coming out this side of the bow, you want to take your tag in and go on the opposite side, and you're gonna go wrap inside of one another like this. And this is how you create your loops, like up here. This is how you're gonna get your wraps. So you just keep wrapping until you get the same amount of wraps. Make sure it ain't overlapped on one another. Give me some space right here. Just keep wrapping. I typically go like 10 or 12 wraps, somewhere in that area. So once you do that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold your tag in tight and then start wrapping the string. And as you wrap this string over, it's unwrapping on the bottom side. Lay it out this way, and then continue making your wraps around. And as you wrapping, your string's unwrapping. And then once you get to the end of your loop, you take your tag in that you've made through, and then you start pulling. And when you get to the end, pull it, cinches that up, and then you make your cut, and then you burn it. And you burn each end. So this is how you change the strings: tying a peep, tying a D-loop, and set the rest cord. Next step is paper tuning, shooting it through paper into the target. If you want to know how to do that, just check out Purple Clan Hustle Archery, and I'll show you how to do that.